This conference will now be recorded.
Hey, hi everyone. Hope all of you can hear me and hope all of you can see my screen. Can I get a quick confirmation? Can I get a quick confirmation from everyone? Yeah, perfect. Thank you. All right. So today we are going to discuss about lag function first. So what is this lag function and why do you need to use it? That's the first thing that we are going to discuss. So as we already talked, this is the last topic in miscellaneous, correct? So let's go with this. So to understand this particular piece, first I'm creating a very simple program here, right? Let's say that not even this, I'll just go with a test. Let's say that there is only one variable called x, let's say, which is going to be a dollar. That is nothing but a character variable. I'm giving some values to it. The values are going to be, let's say, 100, 200, 300, right? So I just created a variable called x, and within that, I have created three inputs. That is nothing but three data lines. Here it is. So first, I'll give you the syntax for lag. Lag is going to be like, it is going to take a one value lag. That is, if in the same example, if I create a new variable called x1, and if I say x1 is equal to log of x, then what it is going to do is, let me use it in Excel. Meanwhile, let Excel open it. Meanwhile, I'll run this and I'll show you. You can see that there is going to be a new variable under, oh, I said log, it's a lag of x. Yeah, yeah, this is the right one. Now, if I open this in the Excel and if I'm going to show you what exactly it is going to do means, it is going to take one value lag compared to the previous value. That is, this is my input. When I say lag of x, when I say lag of x, that is x1, for 100, it is going to see, is there any value in the previous record? Do I have any previous record for this? I don't have. So it is going to consider this as a missing value. So since I consider this as a character missing value, the character missing value is going to be a blank space. So I get blank space here. And then for the second one, for this record x1, lag of x is the previous value of x. This is the current value of x. The previous value of x is this one, correct? The previous value of x. So this 100 is going to be the lagged value of my x. That is, all it is going to do is simply, it is going to consider previous record value as the current value. That is nothing but your lag. So for now, this one, the lag value is going to be 200, correct? If I have one more record, let's say 400. So for this record, the previous value is going to be 300. So the lag is going to be 300. So lag is nothing but one value shorter than the previous one. First of all, concept wise, what is lag? All of you are able to follow? Concept wise.
Yes, yeah.
Can I get it? Yeah, perfect. Now, why I have to use it? This is just concept wise, this is okay, right? We are done with the concept, correct? So syntax we know, how to use it we know. But the thing is, Practically, in what scenarios you are going to use it? So lag is powerful whenever you want to compare something based on the previous values. That is, for an example, I'll give you one use case. Let's say in my living city, let's say I'm in Hyderabad right now. Let's say in Hyderabad, last 10 years, in the last one decade, right? How house prices are increased. How much, if you want to buy a 2 BHK flat around 5 years back, how much was the price compared to what is the price today? In each year, how the price is changing, how much is the increment in the price, how much percentage of the appreciation I got on my land. If I want to do these type of calculations, we are going to use lag. That is, I'm comparing current value with the previous value, right? Let's say in this case itself, what is the value of x compared to the previous value? How do you do it? I can simply say is equal to this minus this, correct? I know that the current year it is going to be 200, previous year it is going to be 100, there is going to be a difference of 100. How do I get, how I am able to manage it? Because I'm able to get previous year value as a current value here, then I can do the subtraction, correct? The same logic we are going to use it for calculation of this hike in the rentals or hike in the what to say, your how much appreciation, how much percentage of the appreciation I got it, or even in the current COVID scenarios, even in the current COVID scenarios, how the cases are increasing, what percentage, what is my recovery rate, what is my positivity rate, how I'm able to calculate the same way. How much was the number previous month and how much is the number current month? Or if I want to go day wise, right? Yesterday I have 3 lakh cases, today I have 2 lakh cases. There is going to be a decrement of 10%. 2 minus 3 divided by 3, correct? So that kind of calculations, that is nothing but you can call them as a weighted values, continuous weighted values. In such calculations, you are going to use your lag function. Let me help you with one example. So here it is. I have year price. That is in each year how the price for house increase, or how the price for the land has been increased. In 2001, it was 2 lakhs. In 2002, it became 2 lakh 20. 2003, 2 lakh 50. In 2004, 2 lakh 80. And 2005, 3 lakh 10. So like this, in every year, there is going to be an increase in the price. I want to know the value, how, with what rate it is increasing. So first I have calculated the data set. Now the same concept I'm going to use. What is the concept that I'm going to use? First, you are going to take the lag of price. That is like this column. After that, you are going to calculate the difference. After that, if you need, we can calculate the percentage. See this? Now you see what I did first. You can consider this as a x, this as lag of x, correct? Lag of price is nothing but previous value. I'm going to take it. For the first one, I don't have a previous record, so it is going to be missing. Since it's a numeric value, I have a numeric missing value as a period. For this one, the previous value is 2 lakhs. I got 2 lakhs here, 2 lakh 20 here, 2 lakh 50 here, 2 lakh 80 here, correct? And then the difference I'm calculating. How I'm calculating the difference? This minus this. That is price minus lag of price, correct? And then finally, I'm going to the calculation. What is the calculation? Difference in price divided by lag of price. So I'm going to get the percentage of it. Now I can see that in each year, first in the first year, 2001 to 2002, it incremented by 10%. And then in 2003, 13%. Here is what I got the maximum appreciation, correct? After that, my appreciation is again decaying. You can see that. So the price wise it is increasing, but on a whole, if I see that in the first 2001 to 2002, that is 2002 to 2003, there is a 3% of the appreciation. But between 2003 to 2004, I don't find the much appreciation. In fact, I can see that in terms of In terms of appreciation, it is going to be only a decrement, correct? I can see a clear number about how my prices are getting hiked and how much appreciation I'm getting every year. Make sense? Are you able to understand now? The same thing I can use for the COVID, the same thing I can use for, you know, wherever I want to calculate the performance, there and all, I can do it. Are you able to understand what is the use case for lag function? All of you? Can I get a quick confirmation? Moving average, the same way you can calculate the average also. See, this is going to be the difference, correct? If you want to calculate the average, all you need to do is take the average of these two, right? Previous value and current value. I want to take the average of it. Let's say these two average I want to take, these two average I want to take, these two average I want to take, these two average I want to take. That is nothing but moving average, right? Now, instead of calculating the difference here, you can calculate the average. That is average of these two, you are going to calculate. Let me put it here. I won't calculate the difference here. Instead of the difference, I can say moving average, and I can simply use the function that is available to us, and that function is nothing but, what is that? Mean of price, comma, lag of price. This obviously is going to give me my moving averages, correct? For the first one, it is giving the wrong result, correct? For the first one, because sorry, even for the first one, it is correct because the average between the this one, previous one, I don't have. The average is going to be 20,000 only. Between these two, that is for the 2001 and 2002, 21,000 is the average. For 2002 and 2003, it is going to be 23,000, 2,35,000. But between these two, 2,65,000. Between these two, it is going to be 2,95,000. A very simple and straightforward way I can calculate the moving average. Hasmi, is that clear? Right. Questions? All right. Now, so there is some extension to this as well, like a bit of extension to this as well is available. That is, this is a lag function. Oh, you have given a question related to this in the functions assignment. Oh, okay, okay. I think you can solve it now, right? Exactly. From the previous 2 months, if you want to calculate, let's say I want to calculate for the previous 2 months, yes, still you can do it. All I need to do is, already I have lag of price, right? Here. You can take lag price underscore 1, and you can take the lag from here, and then you can go ahead and add it here. So it is going to take the moving average for 3 months. Done. So lag of this is here. The lag of this is here. Now you can see here, this is nothing but the average of previous 2 months. For this one, the average of these three. For this one, the average of these three. Right? Now, for the previous 2 months, I don't have the data. Let's say that for these two, I don't have the previous 2 months of the data. I can push these two as a 0. That is nothing but missing. I can simply say that here I can put for the last one, for the first 2 months where you don't have the 2 previous months of the data, set the moving average to missing. For this, the answer is, I can simply say that if lag price is equal to missing, or lag price 1 is equal to missing, then moving average is equal to missing. Done. So for these two, I don't have the previous 2 months of the data, correct? For this, only 1 month of data is there. For the first one, I don't have any more previous months of the data. So for these two, moving averages are null. Now you can see for this, the previous 2 months of the data is there. For these three, I'm calculating the average. For these three, I'm calculating the average. For these three, I'm calculating the average. Is this done? Is this the answer for your question? Questions? Any other questions on this? Wonderful. All right. So there is small extension to this, guys. That is, if you want to, I know, if you feel like, hey, Murli, it is becoming complicated, I don't say this. If you feel like, okay, uh, we can try, means I can help you with this. That is, there is one more extension to it. That is, we are using the lag function here. There is one more function, you can call it as different function, diff. The function name is diff. Let me tell you how it works. So I prepared one more data set here. This data set is actually having a country, within the country, for the same country over the year, how the prices are high. That's what we just see now. The second thing is, for a different country, same years, how the prices are changed. Again, one more country, that is 3 different countries are there. In the same duration, how the prices are varied. That's what the question is. That is, how I want to check the increase in the prices for the different countries. I can almost use the same one, except one small difference, like this. So that is what it is doing is, this is for the first country, this is for the second country, this is for the third country, correct? We did the same thing what we have done before, but only change we have done here is, I also used an option called diff of price. You can see here, diff price I'm using, correct? Yeah. That is, instead of using, this minus this, I can also use diff price. But here, the only thing I'm doing here is, I'm doing this based on the first dot and last dot. That is, if it is going to be the first country, anyways, that is for the first occurrence, I don't have any values, correct? So I'm directly calling that as a missing. You can see here. All I'm doing is, set by country, I'll just go with year and country. Lag of price I'm calculating. Instead of this subtraction, again going with one more lag here, this one. Instead of this, these two are same, guys. The diff of price is nothing but price minus this, right? So here what it will do is, the advantage of going with this is, I'll show you why it is useful, okay, with a small change in data. Let's say I take in 15,000 here and I do this. What happened? Oh, this is moving average. No, I want to go back. Now you can see I'm getting minus 31,000, correct? In the same program, instead of this, if I go with diff option, difference of price is equal to diff of price. If I go with this particular option, I won't get this negative values. Wherever I strictly want to go only with the differences, but I'm not interested to go with the negative values. That is, I'm not interested it is a negative or positive. All the time I only want to see the depreciation, I only want to see the appreciation. In those cases, I can use the diff function. The diff function is going to say what is the difference. It won't say negative value. It only consider whichever is the lower, that it is going to get subtract from the higher value. That is the only difference. But one problem here is, guys, you need to be very clear about, you want to calculate the appreciation or depreciation, or you want to calculate only the difference, right? If it is only the difference, you can go with the diff function. You want to see appreciation and depreciation. Depreciation can be represented with negative value. Appreciation can be represented with a positive value. That is the change, right? If you feel like, hey Murli, that is a bit of confusing, I'm not interested to go with that, exclude that. Don't go with that particular one. Go with the normal one. Clear? Every one of you, can I get a quick confirmation? Is this understandable? What is the lag function and how do you use it?
Yes, yeah.
Perfect, perfect. Any questions? I'll give a pass here for a moment. If you have any questions, please ask me.
I just one question in general, like if you mention a diff function when we need to use when we don't want to see the negative. So why don't
Correct.
we use all the time? Why don't we use all the time diff function and we don't use the leg function?
Oh, very simple. If you use every time diff function here, you don't know that there is a depreciation, because here what happened is the price all of a sudden has fall down from 2,20,000 to 1,50,000. There is a depreciation of 70,000 in that year,
Okay.
right? If you use diff function there, it will show this as a 31% positive. That is, even though your price fall, it shows as an appreciation. It is a wrong perception, right?
So, but
You understand? Let's say I'm the business user.
yeah, that's true.
Go
But
ahead,
in
go ahead.
a practical use, there is there is a no way we can use the diff function then, because all the time in a practical world they want to see the
Okay.
increase and decrease.
Okay, I'll tell you. Let's
Okay,
say I'm not, this is for appreciation or depreciation, right?
yes.
Suppose I want to see my patient visits. That is, I'm not interested whether my patient, like my patient values, my patient number of patients visiting my hospital increasing or decreasing, and never mind. But what
Okay.
is the rate? What is the rate? With what rate in each year I'm operating? If I want to see that particular one, in such cases, I don't need to see this. Correct? It all depends on my requirement. What is exactly the requirement that I'm
So,
looking at? Right?
okay.
Sometimes
Yeah.
what people will do is, sometimes what people will do is they will always give you the percentages in positive, right? But the difference price will be there, right? Based on the difference price, they will visualize it. That is nothing but they use click view, or they use tableau or some visualization tools. There they are going to represent based on this value. They will give some color coding. Let's say that wherever it is increasing, they will say green. Wherever it is decreasing, they will give red. In those cases, they don't need negative numbers. You understand
Okay.
what I'm saying?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. It all depends on how you want to,
Yeah.
do it.
Use the. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Use the functionality.
Exactly.
Okay, that's good. In here is also like just to mention now, is a red color text and blue color text, like what we
Hmm.
have in Excel. Is the same kind of functionality we can do in a SAS.
Yes, we can do it. There is a
Okay.
procedure
Okay.
called proc report. By using the
Okay.
proc report, you can do it, but it is a bit complicated in SAS.
Okay. Understand. Okay.
Yeah, but you can do it. You can do it in proc report. You can also do it in the graphs. That is also possible. But only problem here is going to be like, uh, you can do this very easily in the visualization tools.
Okay. Yes. That's true.
Right.
Thanks.
Yeah. So, I think with this, we have completed this miscellaneous, but if I'm not wrong, I think Chandana added one more. Let me add it here. That is graphs, correct? I missed it yesterday. Graphs and charts. Anything you can call it as. There's a small difference between these two. Yeah. This graphs and charts I'm going to discuss tomorrow, right? I'll go with the procedures now, right? This is the only thing which is pending from the miscellaneous. Am I correct? Have I missed anything? You can see now, because yesterday my screen was frozen, right? Now you can see ways of creating variables, we're done. Change order of the variables, we have also done this. First dot and last dot, done. Ways of finding the number of observations, we have done this. We have done it in the macros. Arrays and do over loop, done. ODS, done. Yesterday we discussed dictionary tables. Lat function we discussed today. Graphs and charts is only part which is pending. Correct? Right. Now, let me go to the procedures. From the list of procedures, these are the ones which are pending. 5 procedures are pending. Report, tabulate, correlation, univariate, and regression. Correct? So let's start with a simple procedure, which is nothing but proc core. Core stands for correlation, right? I'll help you with why it is useful and where. Remember, all these are statistical procedures. Most of them are not all of them. Sorry about it. These 3 are statistical procedures. These 2 are reporting procedures. That is, whenever you want to report, whenever you want to prepare a report, in those cases you use, right? But with the use of all our the new things, I mean to say, since we are now using all the visualization tools like Tableau, ClickView, ClickSense, Power BI, this kind of stuff, people are not that interested to go ahead and use our proc report and proc tablet. We are not using that very much nowadays, right? But it is not like, I cannot say that, hey, since you are not using it, I don't want to go ahead or I don't want to use it. It is not like that. I'm going to show you how we are going to use it. But most of us are provided with all our graphical user tools. That's the reason we don't need to go with this. But I'll help you with the basics. What needs to be done, I'll definitely help you with. But generally, we don't work on them here, right? In day-to-day basis, the usage of proc tablet and proc report is very, 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 very minimal. I can say that 1 out of 100 cases we use it. But these 3 are statistical procedures heavily used by the statisticians and the business analysts. Primarily, statisticians and business analysts are the ones who are going to use it. Right. Let's start with proc part, how it will be useful. A very simple one, but logic-wise, they are very powerful. Understanding the logic is different. Got. So let's say proc car, that is basically we use this one for the correlation purpose. For an example, I'm just going with SAS help. In the SAS set, let's say I'm just going with a regular data set called class. I don't do anything. I simply use these 2 and I will leave it. That is, I simply say proc car. I go with data equal to what is my input data set is, and I will leave it as it is. It is going to generate a report to us. That report is going to have details about the relation between the variables. It is simply going to give me what is the relation between 2 variables. So first I'll give you the example, then I can tell you how a business analyst is going to use it. So I just run this. This is going to be my output. That's all my output is. This it always work only on the numeric variables, because character variables obviously won't relate to each other. Correct? Now, how it will be useful is, even in the Excel we can have it, or even in our childhood and all, whenever we go with the geometry, we are going to use this. That is, so you guys might be remember using this, right? So we have something called graphs, correct? So we can use like this, right? I have this one. Let's say this is going to be my x-axis and y-axis. If I consider this, So I can say that I have a variable called x here and I have a variable called y here. You know, I can draw the relationship between these two variables, correct? I can say that with the increase in value of x, what is happening to y? With increasing in what value of x, is y value is decreasing or is my y value is increasing? These type of things we can do, right? We can simply call that with a simple relation called y is equal to mx, correct? So what is y equal to mx? Mx is nothing. Y equal to mx is nothing but a line originating from origin with a slope of m. Correct? M is nothing but a slope. That is the mathematical formula. But all the time it is not going to be like y equal to mx. In a simple way, I can say that I have a y, I have x. How if x is changing, how y is changing? That is what my relation is. I want to see what is happening to my value y if x changes. The reason why I'm doing this, I want to know whether these two are dependent variables or independent variables. If someone has given you an Excel file and they ask you, hey, can you tell me what and all the variables are dependent variables and what and all independent variables? How do you know it? It is very difficult to see them, right? It is difficult to analyze each and every variable, right? But if you load them as a data set, and if you go with a correlation like this, now I can see simply here. So first one I go with this age. Age, if the age is increasing, my height also increasing. Murali, how do you say this? Answer is very simple. See the value here. What is the value I'm seeing here? Between these two, the index is going to be 0.81. That is, for every 1 year increase in the age, or for every 1 unit increase in the age, my height is increasing by 0.8 times. So if the ratio or whatever the number, this number is always from 0 to 1. If the number is always from 0 to 1, that is -1 less than or equal to 0 less than or equal to 1 or -1, this is how it is going to be. Maybe it is not accepting because it is going to be I have to close a text. Now you can see. That is, if it is always between the boundaries of -1 and 1. So if the value is more close towards 0, that is, there is no correlation. That is, if the value is more towards 1, that is, now you can see 0.8 is close to 1, correct? So I can say that the age and height are tightly correlated with each other. Age and weight are tightly correlated with each other, but there is going to be a 74% of the match, right? So if I don't have any value less than 0.5, the value is less than 0.5, I can straight away say that there are no correlation. There is no correlation between them. If the value is negative, that is negative correlation. That is, if the age is increasing, my height is decreasing. So it is going to be like a negative correlation. So whenever I want to find the correlation between two variables, the proc correlation will be really, really helpful. You don't need to do anything. Every work can be done by your SAS itself. I can also go with one more example here. So now you can see this is going to be really useful. Now you can see if the engine size is increasing, I'm going with the third one, engine size. If the engine size is increasing, you can see that the MPG underscore city is decreasing, significantly decreasing, correct? So there is no positive correlation here. But if you see the first one, MSRP and MPG city, there is going to be only minus 0.47. I can say that I don't find a proper correlation between them. If you go with the wheelbase, it is going to be 0.15, negligible, correct? So it is going to give me a clear understanding about how two variables are tightly correlated with each other, whether they have any relation between them or they doesn't have any relation between them. If they have relation, is it a positive one or is it a negative one? So that information I'm going to get with the help of my correlation. Is that understandable, guys? If we don't have this, I need to work on each and every value independently. It is going to be a lot difficult. So just to avoid that, we have a very wonderful procedure, which is nothing but our proc correlation. Questions? Are you able to follow? This is going to be bit raw, guys. I think say that it won't be like interesting topic because these are going to be the statistics, right? We generally feel it is not our cup of tea as long as we involve in it. Generally, SAS programmers will not involve in the statistical stuff. That is this much statistical stuff because the statistician is the one who will take care of it, right? Or the business analyst is the one who is going to take care of it. We generally won't involve there, right? But these procedures are useful if you are interested to go as a data scientist, right? If you're trying to go with a SAS data scientist, in those cases we can use it. But you need to have a very good understanding about the statistics. Very good understanding I'm talking about, not a little understanding, a deeper understanding of the statistics. Questions? All right, let me go with the next one, which is nothing but our proc report. Let me go with that one as well. So proc report, again, it is going to be like bit hefty, I can say, but not difficult, not difficult. So I'm just preparing a simple data set here with only two values. One is going to be the text, another one is going to be the values. So here is my data set. Now, without doing anything, I simply gonna use my proc report. So I just say proc report data is equal to my data set name. Let's see what is going to happen. It is equivalent to your proc print, correct? Can I say it is exactly equivalent to your proc print with only one difference? That one difference is going to be, if I go with the proc print, I'll say the same one with NOOBS. That is proc print with no observations is no OBS is equivalent to your proc report. Am I correct? Both of you has given the same output. If I don't use this option, what is going to happen? Your proc print is going to have one extra column. Right, this is your proc report output, this is going to be your proc print output. If I use no OBS, both of them are going to be same. So first of all, I can use proc report for reporting purpose, right? Then what are the various features I have in that? That is what my concern is. So now what I'm doing is I go with the by statement. So we know that wherever I want to go with the by statement, it need to be sorted, right? I sorted this particular text on the text value, that is on the character data. Now, if I go with proc report and by statement, what it is going to do is it is going to take bar alone separately, BAZ separately, foo separately. That is, for each of the variable, it is going to generate a different report. Now, can you see this? The first one, text is equal to bar. Second one, text equal to bas, and the third one, text equal to foo. Can I say again that this is going to be similar like proc print we are going to use with the help of the by option? The same thing, right? But the report is going to be like almost it is going to be the same, which is going to have some additional features that I'm going to teach you anyways. This is the first one. In proc print, just a second. All right. Now I'm just going with the proc print. By using the proc print, you can only print the existing values, correct? You cannot create something, or you cannot create a new variable, or you cannot do any additional stuff there, correct? Whatever is there, you can print it in any way you want, but you cannot create some new variables while using your proc print, correct? I can only use where condition there, or I can use the group by condition there by using the by statement, but I cannot create a new variable. But by using a proc report, you can create it. Now you can see, I'm just going with proc report. I'm going with where value is greater than 20. That is, in my output, wherever the value is greater than 20, only them I'm considering. After that, you can see here, the column statement identifies all variables that are used in the report. The first thing. Number two, column is equivalent to where in the proc print, right? But you can see in my input, I have only two variables, text and val, text and value. But from where this particular val underscore sq is coming, that is square value. I'm squaring the value. But from where I'm getting it, this is the new variable I'm creating. That is, I'm saying that column, text, val, and value square. Value square is the new variable. Okay. Now, define. Define will say what you want to do with that particular variable. If I say display, it will display it. If I say order, it will sort it. If I say group, it will group by that. Right? So I want to display it in the output. So I just say display. Now, compute is the new keyword that can use to create a new variable. How I want to compute this variable? Value square is equal to my value variable to the power of 2. So what I'm trying to do here, I'm creating a new variable just by going with square the value of the val variable. That too, I want to do this only for value greater than 20. Can you see this? 42 square, 33 square, 219 square, 153 square, and 22 square. And I'm doing this only if the value is greater than 20. Is that making sense, guys? Are you able to follow what I'm trying to say? In a proc print, I cannot create a new variable. But in the proc report, along with printing, I can create a new variable on the go. You can see this new variable val underscore sq is not part of your input data set. Let me refresh it. My input data set only have two variables, txt and val. It does not have the other variable, which is nothing but the value square. The value square variable is only part of your data, your report. It is not on your data set. Is that making sense what I'm trying to say? Even though my variable is not part of the data set, I want to use that particular field only for the reporting purpose. So I restrict only to the report. I will not add it to my data set. Do you think is it an advantage or not, guys?
Yes, yes, we can. I can see the advantage.
Yes, because we are not.
While we do the
Yeah,
report, yeah, we can add the
exactly.
number, any number of variables, isn't it? Or is there any
Yes.
restriction?
No, there is no restriction. You can add it
Okay,
any number of variables to your report.
okay, yeah, that's great.
Right. Now, let's go with the another one, because this define is going to do a lot of things. I said one is this display. Now I'm just going with the other one. So again, I'm going with, anyways, why I'm creating this again? I have it already. I want to sort. Before you can see, I use display. So it simply display the value. Now here you can see I'm using order. Order is the one which is going to sort your data set. That is, on text value, it is going to sort your data set. Generally, we can do the sorting only based on the proc sort, right? but I'm not using the proc sort here while define. And again, remember, it is only going to sort the report. It is not going to sort your original data set. Your original data set remains going to be as your original data set is going to be as is, but it is going to sort only your text data. Can you see this? I'm displaying for each value of the bar. So the other advantage of going with this is, these are all bar values only, right? It is displaying only once. It is displaying only once. It is sorting the data and it is displaying only once. Make sense? If I want to do the same thing in your proc print, I can also do that in the proc print. But while doing the proc print, first I need to sort the data. After sorting the data, I need to use the by like this. But it will display for everything. And then I have to use ID option. And then it will display in this way. So if you go with the proc report now, the proc report is able to do that in a single instance, correct? I don't need to use sort at all. Directly I can use it. Can you see both the outputs are going to be the same? Right? So I don't need to sort my original data set. Without sorting my original data set, I can do the sorting, actual sorting, by using my order option. Make sense, every one of you? Right? Again, this is again very restricted. That is, I'm not sorting my data set, I'm only sorting my report. So my data set remains unchanged. Without sorting my report, so without sorting my data set, I'm able to do, or I'm able to manage the stuff in the report directly. All right, let me go with the another option. This is grouping option, guys. Bit little complicated, but not too much. I'm just changing the data set here. You can see text 1, text 2, text 3, and value I have created. Grouping is nothing but, you can see text 1 group, text 2 group, text 3 group, value analysis. The analysis that I want to do is sum. Mean to say, I want to group my output on all these three variables, and then I have to calculate the sum for this. So if I go with the display, it will display it. If I go with order, it will sort it. If I go with group, it is going to do the group by operations. If I go with the analysis, it is going to say what you want to do. You can calculate sum, you can calculate average, you can calculate minimum, maximum, all the statistical stuff. Let's run this. Now you can see, first it sorted on ABC, and then it sorted on JQL, and then it sorted on the third one. That is, if I look into the data one more time, this is my data. First, you sort it on AB. 1 second. Sort it on A, done. Then sort it on B, done. Then sort it on C, done. Now can you see what is happened here? With ABC and JKL and UV, with these three combination, I have these three. 86 plus 13, how much? 99. Is it displaying the same here? ABC, JKL, UV combination, all these three combination, it is going to be 99. Done? Is it reporting the same? Then ABC, I don't have anything else, correct? Here it is. Where is again ABC? Here. ABC, MNO, XYZ. On this combination, I have 15. ABC, MNO, XYZ. I have 15. ABC, PQR, YZ 111. ABC, PQR, YZ 111. ABC, PQR, WX, I don't have any because PQR I have two. One is WX, another one is going to be YZ. With the ABC combination, I don't have this. That's the reason I got this value. So I can group on more than one variable at a time, and I can also calculate the sum, or I can also calculate the average, minimum, and maximum within that particular one. Make sense? Understandable, guys? What you can do with this? You want to do all your calculations on the go while preparing your report. In such cases, you can go ahead with your proc report. Understandable? Questions? All right. This is about your proc report, guys. I don't go in detail beyond this. If I go beyond this, it will lead to the confusion, but I can support you with some of the PDFs. You can also go with those PDFs, and it is going to give you a little more. But I suggest don't waste your time much by going with your proc reports or other things, because you are not going to use it anyway. I'm sure I'm telling you, you are not going to use it, because the reporting is mostly done by the visualization teams, not our SAS teams nowadays. So you have three procedures left: proc tablet, univariate, and regression. Tablet is the only one which will take time. The remaining are going to be like, it will be quick enough. So by Monday we can finish it, and by Tuesday we can finish your graphs. Hopefully by Monday we can finish all these three. Questions? Please, I'm open for the questions. All right. If there are no other questions, we can wind up the session for today, and we can meet on Monday. Monday, same time, guys, 8 o'clock. Thanks, everyone. See you.
Thanks. See you.